Our next speaker is Dr. Munir Chaudhry. Dr. Chaudhry received his academic education at the Agricultural University in Faisalabad in Pakistan and at the American University of Beirut in Lebanon. He went on to the United States, where he worked towards his PhD in food chemistry at the University of Illinois, from which he graduated in 1980. Dr. Chaudhry is best known for his expertise on halal consumer products and their ingredients. And in 2013, the Emir of Dubai, His Excellency Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, awarded Dr. Chaudhry the Islamic Economy Award for Standardization and Compliance in recognition of the broad impact that he'd made on the global halal economy. For the past 30 years, Dr. Chaudhry has been managing halal certification programs for the Islamic Food and Nutrition Council of America. Halal certified products include pretty much everything you can imagine, from food to chemicals to additives to packaging to things that we see in our house cleaning materials. Under Dr. Chaudhry's leadership, his organization, as I mentioned, the Islamic Food Nutrition Council of America, has partnered with a vaccine program in sub-Saharan Africa to allow children in this region to overcome serious illnesses. And additionally, his organization has partnered with UNICEF to deliver micronutrients to nutrient-deprived areas. We're pleased that he's with us now, and he's going to be speaking to us on the subject of emerging halal markets, opportunities and limitations. And we invite him to the stage now. Thank you.
Okay. So I still have my 15 minutes left, right? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting me. Great job putting this event together. Really pleased with the management. I tried to figure out what the emerging markets are. Normally, it's easier to define emerging markets in the financial areas, and it was kind of difficult to pinpoint the emerging markets. So what I came up with, was the growth of Muslims, okay? And with 7% growth, over 1.6 billion is going to add up. And what industry is looking for to service that market? That, as you call it, growing market, or you could call it emerging market. Most of the halal activity is going to be throughout the world, wherever the request for halal is. This does not mean that those 1.6 billion Muslims are not eating halal today. The definitions are changing, the requirements are changing. There is more and more halal certification taking place. That's where the growth is going to be. The connector of all these people, plus rest of the humanity, is really meeting the requirements of halal, or whatever your personal requirement would be. Dr. Riaz had his own definition. I'm just going to briefly cover where the activity is rather than where the emergence is. Okay? Countries opening up to international trade. In 82 to 90, it was Southeast Asia, Singapore, then Malaysia, then Indonesia. Then right now, there is a lot of activity in MENA area, GCC plus North Africa. Okay? Pakistan is gearing up with new law passed last year. Turkey has been very, very active lately. Before last year, most of their dealings were with the countries with end with STAN, and now they are trying to bring their products. It's a production economy, trying to bring their products into Middle East and even towards other European countries and North American countries. national regulations, putting more focus on. Not only Pakistan, there are other countries also active in creating that halal regulation and halal space. We have been hearing OIC, SMIC regulations. Sister Amina presented part of that. There's a whole broad program happening in GCC countries under GCC standardization organization, accreditation, approving the organizations, passing new laws, and those are also the growth areas. Awareness and activism. The students, when they started coming out of their own countries and spread over the world, they started a new movement. They got education in Western style. Some of us settled in the West. Some of them went back to their own countries. So they learned something new. It was the cuisine of other cultures and the other countries. What happened after that? McDonald's and KFCs started putting up their shops throughout the world. They put up white arches. They eventually became the planning was white arches, and the actual stores were the golden arches. And that movement is going to continue. And the youth in our schools, as young as grade schools in USA, are requesting halal, and the food service departments, the cafeterias, have started the programs to provide them halal meals. And that's going to continue. Distressed populations have been growing, and majority of the refugees right now in the world are from Muslim lands. USA started a program of meals ready to eat about 20 years ago, which has expanded to United Nations, and there are a number of companies providing shelf-stable meals to those populations, and that area is also going to keep growing. Mass feeding is when the aid agencies also get involved. They're trying to bring their message, whatever that message may be. They're also providing the halal meals like Feed My Children type of organization. Globalization of food service, I mentioned already McDonald's. Hospitality and tourism is also going to be a growing area. Japan and South Korea are very good examples. There are some sports activities going to be taking place, Olympics type, and they're already gearing up and changing their systems to providing the hotels Muslim-friendly, and also changing their kitchens to make it halal kitchen and regular kitchen. The new market segments, these are, we started with meat, was really still stuck with meat. We're never going to get out no stun issue. So if I have any minutes left, I would yield that to the non-stun issue. But what's happening after the meat, we went into, visibility was on the food items. Anything which is processed with alcohol, ice creams, cakes, cookies, processed food items. Then from there, cosmetics, personal care products, vaccines. Then you get into some of the non-food items are going to be increasing. Then wherever pork gelatin touches even the non-food areas, those, according to some country regulations, become unclean, and those are going to be another, like plastics, are also an expanding market. I'm going to just skip all those numbers. It's just the the population numbers, the global urban Muslim consumers. I talked about the student movement and all that, and all the people who, including a lot of UAE and UK, came due to whatever reason. The second and third generation fall under there. They are more demanding of halal than their parents were, and you could see that movement. This is numbers about youth. I covered that. Urbanization. Most of the countries which are direct net importer of the food products, very high urban populations, and that's where the food service is going to be growing more. The top 10 Muslim markets where tourism going to be increasing. Not going to spend more time on it. You can see refugees all over. We touched upon displaced populations, touched upon vaccine, and thank you very much.